Hey guys, welcome to another ranking video. We are here to chat about foundations. I actually have 11 foundations that I want to share with you today, and I want to rank them from least favorite to most favorite. Now I do want to say, these are not all of the foundations that I have tried in my lifetime. These are the foundations that I have tried in the last couple of years where my thoughts are still like in my head about them. Like I know how I feel about them. I know what I think about them, but I don't have them all in my collection. Some of them have been recently decluttered. A couple I have tried like, a little bit further back in time, but I still have thoughts. That's probably really confusing. Why don't we just go ahead and get started? If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and rank some foundations. Okay, so coming in at the number 11 spot, this is a foundation that I didn't love, but I didn't hate, and I wouldn't repurchase it. It's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Hydrating Foundation. I will insert a picture because I no longer have that foundation. It was in my year-long project pan with Cara C last year, and I found that it just wasn't super hydrating. I have dry skin. So I should probably tell you, I have dry skin, and in a foundation, I'm looking for something that's more like medium coverage. I want it to cover stuff. Like I want to look like I have makeup on, but I also want it to be skin-like. If we have dewiness or luminosity, I'm all for that, but I'm not looking for like thick, full coverage. I'm not trying to cover up too much. I just want it to look natural with some glow and luminosity. So I found that the Fenty foundation wasn't super hydrating, and I actually had to like put a super hydrating primer on underneath or mix it with other foundations that were a little bit more hydrating. So that's why the Fenty is in the number 11 spot. I used it almost completely. It was old. I had to pitch it, and sadly, I will not be repurchasing this one. Coming in the number 10 spot, again, is a foundation that I do not have in my collection anymore, and it is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This one I tried actually right before I got pregnant with my daughter. She's almost 3, and the reason why this is higher up, I did like that foundation. I liked it a lot, but I liked it for special occasions because that one was more full coverage. I found that it was comfortable on my skin. It wasn't too drying. It didn't emphasize any dry patches, but I needed like not even a full pump, the tiniest little bit, and it would cover my entire face. So that was one that I like wore when I was in a wedding. I would wear it if we were going out for date night, but I didn't find myself reaching for it on a day-to-day. So honestly, that's a foundation where I wouldn't purchase the full size, but if they came out with a smaller size and I could get the smaller size, like I would totally repurchase that. I was in the shade Fiji. I was in the shade 190 for the Fenty, but that one, it wasn't a day-to-day for me, but I liked it. So there you go. Number 9 is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Now I actually purchased that twice, and that one's a like, not a love. That one again gives me, it's not as full coverage as the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear foundation was for me, but it did give me a little bit more of a fuller coverage. That one almost felt a little bit heavier on the skin though. Now, I did purchase Warm Nude when I had it a couple years ago, and when I purchased it last summer, I got Warm Nude again, and that was a great self-tan shade for me, but with as fair as I am right now, I don't think Warm Nude would work anymore, and that's one where, again, I liked it. I purchased it for my friend's wedding because I found that it did give me like a little bit more coverage, but still, because it felt a little bit heavier, I didn't want to wear it on a day-to-day. So I don't think I'll be purchasing that one again anytime soon. I didn't dislike it. I just think my foundation preferences have changed a little bit. In the number 8 spot, I have this one. It is the LYS Love Yourself Triple Fix Serum Foundation. Now, this one I'm going to have to declutter. It has a 9-month shelf life. I've had it for over a year and it's now a little bit discolored and has a little bit of a scent to it. And when I wore it last, I got some bumps on my skin, but I did really like this one. Now, I found that this one was a little bit more of a medium coverage. You could build it up in some spots, but it gave me more of like a natural like skin-like appearance, which I really enjoyed. For whatever reason though, I didn't find myself reaching for this a ton. I would love to try this again. I had the shade LG6. I think LN6 may possibly be a better match for me. So I would like to get this in my collection again and just try the LN6 and see if I reach for it a little bit more then, but I did like this foundation. Coming in at number 7 is this Merit Complexion Stick. I am in the shade Linen. This one I do really enjoy. This can be a concealer, it can be like a spot concealer, it can be an all-over foundation. I use it as an all-over foundation. I find that this is good for on the go, like quick, easy. If you want more of like a lighter coverage, you want it to look like you're put together but you're not doing full glam, that's what this is good for. I just don't find myself reaching for a stick foundation a ton, which is why it's a little bit higher up, but I do like having this one in my collection and I think it's convenient for travel. Now we're getting into the foundations that I really enjoy, and honestly, I just had to arrange these based on personal preference, honestly. This one, you're gonna see in a minute, it looks disgusting. Okay, so this one is number 6, the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better. Can you see? It's a little separated here. So I haven't used this in a while. I don't know if it's still good now that it's that separated, but I did really enjoy this foundation. I used it a ton. This one was much more lightweight. This one's going to give you lighter coverage, more dewiness, more luminosity. This was much more of like a day-to-day foundation for me that I would wear to work. I would throw it on. It was super comfortable, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for like a date night or going to a wedding or going out because you're not going to get that full coverage. Yeah, I can see all kinds of discoloration and breaking up now. Anyway, I was in the shade Light Neutral 21.5 and that was a good shade match for me. In the number 5 spot, I wish I liked this one a little bit more than I do because it was really expensive. It is the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. So here's the thing with this one. I am in the shade 2.7 Vellum. I don't think this is the best shade for me. And I think if I had a better shade, I might try to reach for this more. I'm hoping in the summer it works a little bit better for me because I'm past the point of returning it. I can make it work. I've been mixing it in with other foundations to kind of even the color out. But I feel like this is one where when I'm wearing it and I try to blend it onto my neck, I can kind of see a defined crease. It pulls a little bit orange on me. But this one, although it says soft matte, it's not super mattifying. That's what I like about it. You're not going to have like a super dewy look with this one, but if you are someone with dry skin and you need like a matte friendly foundation, this is a good one. It's just super expensive, but it sits nice on the skin. It's very comfortable feeling. The pump is super luxurious. You just like twist it and it pops up. But like I said, I do wish I had a better shade match than the 2.7. In the number 4 spot is the foundation that I have on today, another pricey one. This is the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I am in the shade Light 7. This one is a really good match for me. This foundation surprised me because I hear so many people rave about it and talk about it and say that they love it. But this is way lighter than I expected and way more liquidy than I expected. I would say that this one gives you light coverage. You can still see all of my freckles, you can see my texture, you can see a little bit of redness where I have some breakouts right here. This is a great like going to work, day to day, feels very comfortable on the skin. I feel like it looks pretty skin-like, pretty natural. You just do have a lighter coverage. If you've ever tried the Urban Decay Naked Skin Foundation, that one was super liquidy. That's what this reminds me of, is just super liquidy, like very runny, gives you a light coverage, but I mean, it's number 4, so obviously I enjoy it. Coming in the number 3 spot is one that used to be a top favorite for me. Sadly, I had to declutter my Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I was wearing the shade 4.5 and it was great at the time, but I think I'm just a little bit more pale right now. So I think I would need a little bit of a lighter shade. However, I used a little bit more than half of that foundation up before the scent changed and the texture changed a little bit and I was getting some bumps, so I had to declutter that one as well. But I love that foundation. Again, it's a little bit pricier, but it gives me more of a medium coverage. You do have a little bit of a sheen or a luminosity in your skin. You can emphasize that with a primer that you go in underneath. Super long wearing, very comfortable on the skin, and it looked like I just had healthy skin. So that was definitely a top favorite for me. Coming in the number 2 spot is a new favorite, and it is the Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation. I have the shade 3 Neutral, which I think is a great shade for me. I recently did a first impression on this. I can link it in the eye if you're interested in checking it out, but this also reminds me of my number 1. But again, this does give you some luminosity. Like, you're gonna have luminosity on your skin with this foundation. It gives me more of like a medium coverage, very skin-like, very comfortable, and it makes my skin look super healthy, and I really have been enjoying it. So the new one took the number 2 spot. My number 1. The Charlotte's Beautiful Skin reminds me of this one, but it's still my number 1. It's the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup. I am in the shade 2N1 Desert Beige. This is like the perfect shade match for me. Super comfortable on the skin, has SPF in it. It gives me more of a medium coverage. It definitely like sits on my skin very beautifully, gives me a little bit of a luminosity, but not so much glowy, just like a healthy skin-like appearance. It lasts all day. Again, the SPF is in there to help me in this Texas heat, and I just find that this one makes my skin look so beautiful. So I often have to tell myself, put this to the side, give it a break, and try something else, because I love it so much. But that's it. Those are the 11 foundations that I have to share with you ranked. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you tried any of these? What are your top 3? Top 3 go-to foundations that you have to have, love in your collection. I try not to have a huge collection. So like right now, I have to get rid of my LYS, and I might have to get rid of this IT Cosmetics one. If I get rid of those 2, I only have 5 foundations in my collection. So I feel like with things like foundation and concealer, of course I want to try everything. I really want to try the NARS, the new one, the light reflecting foundation. I really want to try that one out, but I also don't want to have a ton of foundations in my collection because I know I can finish them, but they go bad so quickly. But those are my favorites. Thank you guys so much for watching this ranking series. I will be coming back. I'm not going to rank my lipsticks, but I will do like a top 10 favorite lipsticks. I think that's what we're going to do. So stay tuned for that one. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.